Y'all, man, Ilona Maher has continued to show why she is the up-and-coming global star. The last time we talked, I said this. I said Ilona Maher, I think, is the first global rugby superstar, especially out of the U.S. And a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, what about Jonah Lomu?" You know, we obviously people like Portia Woodman, or you have Sia Kolisi. These are global stars, and I will say they're not. They are major rugby stars, which is very different. Inside the rugby community, absolutely is amongst the most popular people that are there. But within a pop culture element, I said Ilona Maher has far surpassed that moment. And she's continued to show that she is, because this week, after doing Seth Meyers and doing all these commercials and podcasts, she was announced as the Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model. Now, mind you, I don't know for the younger generation, was a big deal. Like back in the day, whenever it was just a physical page with the physical magazine to be a swimsuit model. And now, while Sports Illustrated, the magazine, has kind of deteriorated just due to them getting sold off and stripped around, the swimsuit cover has still stayed as one of the pinnacle pieces of rugby and not of rugby, of the Sports Illustrated, especially in sports, but just in general, being able to have that cover, because it is a different level of attention. It is equivalent to XXL's top rappers of the year, or ESPN and the body cover. Like, this is one of those situations where you say you are legitimately entering into the lexicon of pop culture. And I checked too, because I wanted to be sure. I was like, is this something just because of the Olympics, or is it because of her? And if you go take a look at the Instagram for Sports Illustrated, it clearly is because they like her and what she represents. Between her, obviously now 3.4 million followers on Instagram, probably another 1, 2, 3 million on TikTok, they clearly have acknowledged her as a major pop culture element. But you got to love what they've done. I want to bring up the video they did for her on this, because again, absolutely legit what they've got going on right now, and it's huge congratulations. Like, yo, this is what you've been wanting from rugby forever. Like, you need somebody to be able to bring people in that becomes a familiar face for them. And I think this is achieving this notably. So, all right, let me bring this down so you guys can properly enjoy.
Look at the go, the power, the strength on the run of the bar.
That is so great! Oh my god, I love it.
Speed and power.
There is more lasting ever. Everything she's got, throwing it on the field. Just she's strong.
Yo, as I said, great setup for this entry point as a superstar. And I said it to people, and this feels like it acknowledges that much more. The fact that she is hitting this right before LA 2028 is a time where I think everybody in rugby needs to take advantage and jump on the wave. It's an absolute necessity. And to see that pop culture is continuing to drive it forward, because it's been a month. It's been a month. Like, the wave of excitement typically for post-Olympic stuff usually ends after about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, we got a fast news cycle, presidential elections, random BS that happens, music, yada, yada. There's always stuff to distract. But this, with them still being able to pay attention and making her almost an icon, not just for women's body positivity, but for women kind of alternate perspectives for women, and just being able to utilize it, massive. Because this also leads into the other thing that I was really hoping would happen, and I'm very happy this is going through more and more each time, which was bringing Ilona Maher into the 2025 Rugby World Cup and the potential. And I said a few weeks ago, I said, look, I don't know about World Rugby or USA Rugby, but whenever you have somebody who's on a wave like this and they are able to bring a level of attention that's never been done before. And again, I say this with due respect to the greats, the legends, Charlotte Caslicks, the Portia Woodmans, the Jasmine Joyces, the Emily Scarretts, the Safa and Dias. Like they are major players in rugby, right? In rugby. But you don't have attention like this. And I know some people made an argument, especially because they said, oh, New Zealand has been on commercials for ages, probably since like 2017, and England has been on it. But again, you're talking about a population of 350 in 1 million people in one country accessing that versus needing to use the entire globe. It's different. And I said that World Rugby and USA Rugby needed to absolutely consider throwing an absolute bag at Ilona Maher to be able to get her to be part of this 2025 Rugby World Cup campaign, because it is a story that can help attach to other stories that would be beyond anything. And to hear that she is absolutely considering to do it, and apparently a couple other players, we got some more information on that. It's not her alone. It looks like we're going to be able to get a 2017 reset again, which makes me so happy. Oh my gosh, so happy. Because I've always, if you guys have watched me for a long time, I've said that 2017 Women's Rugby World Cup competition, especially the USA team, is probably my single favorite team of all time. The combination of the sevens players and the 15s players to come together. And last into 2021, they weren't able to do it for obvious reasons. You remember COVID, the Olympics kind of built into this, came at the same exact time because it got pushed back a year. And obviously the Rugby World Cup stayed in one place because they wanted to maintain their 4-year cycle rotation. But oh my goodness, when you say, hey, bring them together, I'm saying it. And again, no offense to the women's 15s team, but it just felt like they've been lacking. And it's something that you saw already. Like New Zealand mixes it up between the sevens players and the 15s players, and they play in the Rugby World Cup. England, the sevens players and the 15s players, whenever they go, they mix it up, and that's why they consistently stay dominant. But I had a great explanation in an interview that we did with Chris Thomas that should be coming out next week. Does a great job of explaining like a lot of the strife that was going on as to why it wasn't able to be done, obviously, again, for 2021, but what it's now taken and why more people haven't been doing it. But man, to hear that she's doing it, this is what World Rugby needs to be able to promote, and they need to send this out with a quickness and set the storylines around this, because if they don't, again, especially because it's in England, like you got the money, set the stage, baby, set the stage. So let me know what you guys think about this. Like, between Ilona Maher being on Sports Illustrated and now being willing to go and make the team for the Rugby World Cup 15s team, for 2025 women, and what do you think it's going to do even with the men, how that affects it? Like, I really truly believe you guys need to, I want to know what your thoughts are. I really want to know what your thoughts are on that, man, because that's a doozy of one, man. That's a doozy of one. And again, whether you guys like it or not, do you think this is good for rugby? Do you think this is maybe a step back? Do you think there's too much attention on Ilona and that it needs to step back into other people? Because I can even say for myself, I figured Ilona was going to be big. I did not expect her to be to this extent. And this is talking about 2020. So you just never know what's going to happen. I'm talking about 2019, not even 2020. Like, you never know what's going to happen. But what does it mean? What does it mean for you? So let's talk about it.
We're taking dumplings to a new level. My name is Gifte Belu. I'm here with Health Enhanced Foods, and I want to introduce you to one of our most popular products, dumpling flour. What makes our dumpling flour so popular is that it is a mix of unrefined super flours that create the maximum level of nourishment for your personal dumplings. This is including mixes like buckwheat, sunflower, flax seeds, everything that helps to be able to make your appetite stronger, more fulfilled, and healthier. Including within that, we have no added sugars, so we want to make sure that it is rich in protein, rich in fiber, and rich in vitamins and minerals. Our dumpling flour is diabetic friendly, high in quality gluten-free mixes with no rice. And if you know, you know. There's always a little bit of rice to be able to stabilize it. Not here in our dumpling flour. It is naturally nourishing. And of course, it's a great substitute for wheat-based dumplings. With this gluten-free dumpling, you can now make your croissants, you can make your rice dumplings, you can make your dessert dumplings. You can absolutely find this at healthenhancedfoods.com. Go ahead, get yourself a bag, get yourself a pallet, and make sure that you can fulfill for your people and yourself the way that you really deserve it. Don't wait, let's go.